You're listening to Gospel Music Buzz, bringing you the buzz on gospel and wholesome content.
What's happening? Go ahead and share this as you come in. We're going to be speaking with Orlando Vick this evening. We're going to be speaking with Orlando Vick this evening. We're going to be talking about his new single. We're going to be talking about basically a lot of stuff that Orlando has going on. You know, he was just at the Stellar Awards. He was doing the Stellar Awards, red carpet. Hey, Hugo Gospel, what's up, brother? Thanks for tuning in this evening. Roll, what's going on, guys? Yeah, so I'm excited. Give it a few minutes. I'm just going to go through a few updates before we go ahead and bring Orlando in. But how are you guys doing today? Just let me know if you can hear me. Well, just drop an emoji, drop something in the chat. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick little update. So from the Billboard charts perspective here, we got James Fortune on the national charts. We got James Fortune, Never Let Me Down. And this is his second week at #1 here on the chart. So, you know, shout out to James Fortune and team there. And Josh, man, it's been a minute, brother. Also, shout out, honorable mention to Lamont Sanders. His single, He Kept Me, it's been on the chart almost about 30 weeks or so, and he jumped last week from #7 up to #4. So, you know, congratulations to Bear Tag, Lamont Sanders as well, who also hosts a really great game, celebrity basketball game at the Stellar Awards, and we can talk a little bit about that as well too. And then on the Gospel Indicator chart, we have Fred Jerkins featuring Bishop Paul S. Martin, I believe, and they're on the chart 3 weeks now at the #1 spot. And just like Lamont Sanders, shout out to Nia Allen, I'm So In Love. Nia jumped also from #7 into the #4 spot. So, you know, again, honorable mention to both of them as well as the #1s that are there trending. So that's kind of your chart update before we go ahead and bring in Orlando Vick. And also too, just from what's released, David P. Stevens recently released a single today. So David P. Stevens, he teamed up with Mitchell Jones from Commission. You guys know the group Commission, and they released a really, really great single. And that single is titled I Need You. So that's out right now on all digital platforms. Make sure you go and get that single as well. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna jump right into this. I think I see Orlando already. We're gonna go ahead and bring Hey, what's up, brother? How are you?
What's going on, brother? How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. Can you hear me well?
Absolutely.
All right, all right. So what's good, man? You know, I know you've been all over the place, man. I mean, you know, I'm happy that you're carving out the few minutes to stop and chat with us. You're a busy man, man.
Nah, man, I'm elated to be here with you, brother.
Nah, it's all good. Anissa, we see you, Anissa. What's happening, family? So, you know, I know a whole lot's been going on with you, so I appreciate you coming on, you know, chatting with us. We want to get into your single. We want to talk a little bit about everything else that you've been doing. You know, you've been in the industry, you've toured, you know, with a lot of different individuals. You've opened for a lot of the who's who. So, you know, you've learned a lot, seen a lot, you've been around a lot. So, you know, we definitely want to glean from some of that for, you know, anyone that is now stepping into this thing called gospel music industry, whatever you want to call it. You know, you've been in the business for a minute, so, you know, just let us know, what have you been up to recently?
Man, just learning business, learning the understanding of the creative part of it, and just trying to keep myself in a space as long as I'm impacting and inspiring people at large. That's basically the treatment that I'm trying to give others. So as long as I'm doing that, then everything else is going well.
Everything that's good. Well, I'm talking about treatment. You know, I saw you on the Stellar red carpet, man. You're looking sharp, man. You rolled out there, man. You made that announcement. You came around that corner, bro. You were doing your thing, man. So how was your Stellar experience? Because I'm sure all of us had different experiences, you know, with a lot of the after parties, a lot of the networking options. So what's kind of your take on the Stellar Awards?
Man, I think that the Stellar Awards was amazing. To even just see myself there, and to be able to interview with, you know, who's who. and, you know, like St. Jude and BET and everybody that I was interviewing with. Honestly, just to get my voice across to those who need to hear it, to be the antidote to people's bleeding is what I, you know, require myself to do, and to make sure that I'm being. The experience was definitely shocking. I mean, walking on the red carpet and all of the cameras flashing and everything, I'm going crazy and about to pass out. But
It was hot.
it was hot, brother. It was hot. It was hot. And but the experience was great. I got to see my journey in a whole different light. And not to just get caught up on just the red carpet, but that red that was under my feet was blood, and it's the blood Jesus shed, and also the blood that I'm shedding also for those to just make sure that they're impacted through my music. You know, this assignment that I was given is I take it very seriously. So even to be there that night just wasn't about Vic taking pictures and having a nice suit on. It was definitely about the journey that I'm going on for those in the world.
You just went right there, man. You went right there with it, man. Bring that journey and that purpose pull forward, and that's good. I'm glad that you mentioned that, and you know, and even in the space itself, again, we got to cover the red carpet, and like you said, it was pretty, you know, it was pretty hot in there as well too when we were coming down. Come on, align that red, yes, Anissa.
Yeah.
And you know, since that you went there, I'm kind of gonna, you know, I'm gonna take your lead and go there with you, because you know, even when it comes to, you know, what you do, as you mentioned, you take it seriously. You're not just doing this as a hobby or anything like that, right? Like you literally, you take this seriously, you live this, you breathe this, you know, you've even went to school for it. So from the school aspect, so tell us, how was it going to Nyack Music Conservatory? Like, what was that experience like?
That experience was amazing, man. I mean, people like Damian Sneed and professors like Walana Mack and all those amazing pioneers, they instilled something that will forever live. They instilled something in me that impacts my creative art, you know, saying to be able to, again, to impact global. So that experience, just meeting creatives all around the world, you know, just different types of religion and different type of like spirituality, different type of, you know, culture and diversity, and all coming together under one roof, like literally saying like God is great, you know. And so it was definitely a journey. It's definitely a journey, and I'm glad that I went.
And where was that based out of?
New York.
It's in New York. Okay.
Yep.
Got you. Because I know they had a campus out in Rockland County, because my wife went to Nyack out in Rockland County, and I know they had some, you know, they had a bunch of different locations. So
absolutely.
Got you. And, you know, and also to kind of even, you know, keeping true with that, just from the touring perspective and the opening for a bunch of individuals, you know, just throughout the space with your journey that you've been on right now. Like what some of those, I guess, takeaways that you would like to share just from being on the road with, you know, again, when anyone else that's now coming into the space, they're looking at this and they're like, man, I would love to open up for Jonathan or for this person or that person, just to name a few. And, you know, and you've done it. You've opened up, you've been in the green room, you've been gleaming from them and so forth. Like, what are some of the takeaways that you would want to share with someone, seeing that you've been in that space?
Discovering yourself, because you could get lost in someone else when you don't discover yourself, you know. And one of the things that's most important is, you know, learning how to just listen, learning where your journey can go just by being in a space where the imagination of what's going on can soon be a reality. And so when you have that opportunity to be there, you don't know how hard the journey was for that person. And so it looks easy to you because you're seeing the big picture of something great that you just inspired to be at the moment. But it teaches you a lot of humility, which it should. It teaches you a lot of, you know, what character will I possess? Would my work and character line up with itself? Because people are connected to your work. You know, you put out great body of work and people are connected to your work. But when they're connected to the work, is the same DNA the person. And so when the DNA of the person and their work doesn't match, you know, you disrupt the person, because realistically, your music is, you know, who they follow. Your music is how they go through and get through their day to day. So you can't be too far off from your creation. So sitting in those meetings or touring with different people, it just showed me what development looked like, what professionalism looked like, what integrity looks like, being poised and exemplary at your work, taking it very seriously, studying the show thyself approved all the time. You know, being able to articulate, you know, the infrastructure and the architecture of what your assignment is. And that's what was important to me.
I like how you put that, being able to articulate the infrastructure and the architecture of your assignment. But from, you know, everyone's assignment is different, right? And to your point, kind of being in the room with those individuals and seeing that, like, if you're not sure about who you are, you know, you can end up mimicking others, and that's shown, you know, pretty quickly. So what are some things then that can someone kind of do just to ensure that they really, you know, do that work to sort through and to understand what their purpose are or who they're called to be, versus, you know, hey, this is trending today, let me jump on this, let me jump on that, but kind of just carving away and being confident in who they are?
Self-love, self-confidence, self-determination, self-evaluation, and self-preservation. You have to have that self-analyzation. You have to understand who you are and what that looks like, and identifying the assignment that God has given you. You know, say, for he knows the plan he had for you. So you have to take out time to study, to say, God, what is this plan? And so when you're on that plan, you know, you want to abort the plan and not to abort it, because it's easy to abort the plan, because when you have, you know, the world and industry in front of you, you can be persuaded to do something else other than what God has told you to do. So the alignment is so important, you know. And here's the deal. Don't get caught up so much into the industry where it's like, oh, this is trending over here, let me go over here. Because if God has something specifically for you and he's going to draw an audience to you, if you went over to another side, that audience is now lost from a person that they really needed, which was you. You know what I'm saying? So you really got to understand, like, when God has positioned you to stay in posture and to stay in posture and possess the qualities and the value of what he's, you know, of what he has instilled inside of you. And don't lose it. Like, don't lose it. Like, tomorrow you're not going to be on radio. Tomorrow you're not going to be on tour. Tomorrow you're just not going to have the hit record. Tomorrow you may not just be famous. But tomorrow today you can change somebody's life by just saying, you know what, not industry, but ministry. And saying, okay, you know what, I'm going to focus on what my assignment is. And where two or three are gathered, you get what I'm saying? So you can just literally, you can lock one in. That's one life you save. That life gonna tell somebody else, and that other life gonna tell somebody else, and that other life gonna tell somebody else. Before you know it, your name is known for you being authentic to ministry.
You see, that's great in what you mentioned, right? Just looking at what's given to you, because, you know, and again, it's comparison is, you know, a lot of us say, hey, I don't compare myself to this person, I don't compare. But being in an industry and seeing your peers, when you're looking at your peers running slightly farther than you, you're going to feel some kind of way in some smallness, whether there's a bug that drops in your ear. It's like, hey, how do I do this or how do I do that? And that goes in my industry, what I'm doing and everything else. Because even in my meditation recently, you know, the word that came to me was, you know, let purpose drive what you're doing and not results. And I even made a tweet about it. I was like, you know, let purpose drive it and not results, because a lot of times if you're looking at results is not always there. Like you said, you're not going to be on radio today or tomorrow, and then that can cause you to want to stop. But if you're pursuing purpose, even if you don't see the results in front of you, you're going to keep going. So I'm glad that you kind of hone in and lock back into that when it comes to even craft and everything else and being strategic, because in the sense of strategy, I know it's about maybe a year, maybe a little bit more than a year. You started conversation with Orlando, right? So what was, you know, tell us a little bit, what kind of made you went in the direction of a conversation with Orlando Vick? And, you know, you've interviewed, you know, a lot of notable individuals in that space, great conversations. Like, I love tuning in myself just to what direction is going to go in, whatever is going to happen. Like, it's always so fluid. And you have a great relationship with a lot of the individuals that you're you know, that you were speaking to just outside of the show and everything else. So like, you know, just talk a little bit, what made you went in that direction, and, you know, how is that going so far?
Oh man, September 6th will be my 1 year doing Conversations with Vic.
Okay.
There was no strategy at all. There was no strategy at all. There was no strategy. There was no type of plan. It wasn't. It was just, I wanted to bring people people that are influenced by other people that they can't get to. My job is to bring them in, and so those people can have access to them. And that's just what it is, you know. And so that's how that came about. That's how that was developed. That was not developed by, oh yeah, you know, hey team, come together, let's do this. It wasn't that. It was literally like, okay, I'm going to just go into my IG, ask one of my friends to kind of, yo, let's have a conversation and let's bring awareness. Let's talk about variations of topics that people just need to deal with. Yeah. And let's inspire from that place. And from that thought process, it just went where it went. I don't have a recipe for it. I really don't. I don't have the ingredients for it. I just do it. You just never know what will happen if you just do it. You don't know what will come out of it. And from doing it, I mean, I've had people all over the world, you know, that contacted me like, hey, yo, listen, like there are some things up the pike right now because I just started Conversations with Vic. And there are people that want to partner with me because I just created a platform for people. Like just taking out time. Here's the deal. When you take out time to spend time with people, it's just, you know, people can feel your authentic love for them. And that's just what it is, you know? Yeah. And that's just what it was. And I utilized my relationships to bring relationships to other people. And so therefore, it's just not me talking, but it's those who they are influenced by to tell them, hey, listen, you know, I was on the journey and on the path that you were on as well. And just keep going. That's how I got here. Just keep going.
And I like that as well too, right? Because again, kind of going back to what's the purpose for why you're even doing it to begin with, right? Because when it's not a matter of, you know, if stuff is going to show up, right? If circumstances, if whatever is going to happen, stuff is always being tossed at us, right? Left and right, things are constantly being tossed at us, is making us check and recheck that purpose. So from your perspective, from the time you started, a lot of it, you know, I'm sure you've revised, you know, some of your plans, you've revised certain stuff. Just talk a little bit about goal setting and about, you know, how you're measuring and how you're kind of keeping yourself on track.
I started to learn how to keep myself on track because I was unorganized. Started to keep myself on track because I wanted things to happen overnight. Started to keep myself on track because I would literally start something, and if I didn't see the success in it, I would like stop and then start something totally different. When I felt like, you know, nothing was producing out of certain things at the time that I wanted it to, I became bored. And I told myself that I wanted to get over this boredom of not executing tasks and seeing the possibilities of success out of them. And sometimes we look at success at being something complete. Success is increment. Success is what you didn't think about yesterday and what you thought about today. That's successful. And then now it's just about putting it into work, you know, and just continue it. Like thinking about it, like doing Conversations with Vic on Mondays. There's sometimes I'm coming from the airport. There's sometimes I'm leaving Conversations with Vic and going into meetings, or leaving Conversations with Vic and going to the airport, or or coming out of the airport and going to Conversations with Vic. You know, not only, but I'm a dad. You know, I have siblings, I have family who I love, you know, that I would put them in front of this music thing anytime. So yeah, getting to that point of trying to figure out how to become structured, man, I want to be honest with you too. It took a lot of people that loved me to say the same thing to me in the way that I really didn't want to hear it. I wanted give it to me right now. And if you wasn't speaking that I was going to have success in such a way where it was a complete mansion and a charter plane and millions and millions of dollars, man, like truth be told, like I probably wouldn't have done conversations with Vic almost to a year, September 6th. I probably would not have been, I definitely wouldn't have been, not probably, but I definitely wouldn't have been to the level of where I am now. Had not I found consistency. Consistency for me is key to any breakthrough. So I had to find consistency. Once I found consistency, I started to even communicate with myself better. Sometimes when you don't have consistency, you're foreign to yourself.
Wow.
And so I had to figure it out. I really had to figure. I lost a lot too. I lost a lot. Just you can be hard-headed to self. You can be your own blessing blocker because you're not structured, or you don't have strategy, or you don't just even have the discipline for weight. And I didn't have the discipline at one point for weight. I wanted instant, like, hey, I'm hungry right now. Let's go to the fast food restaurant. Not let's pick up some groceries, go to the house, and let's make it. Like, it wasn't like that for me. It wasn't at all. So I found my consistency through just not being prepared. I found my consistency through losses. I found my consistency through having to do it over. I found my consistency of just having to just be okay with step 1 and step 2 and stop taking step 1 and trying to go to step 15, because you miss things along the line when you do that, you know?
I think everyone is agreeing with you. Consistency is key. Testify, my brother, love this. Consistency is key. Yeah, and I think that's the part that is not the glamorous part, right? Like, you know, if we'll say, you know, that's not the part that everyone wants. Everyone wants to arrive at this point here, but the incremental stuff that you're doing, even through the boredom, through the frustration, through them not seeing it, like that's what's going to keep chipping away and kind of get to you, you know, where you at. So I'm really glad that you're taking time just to be transparent first and foremost. Talk about that, because a lot of times, again, when you've gotten to a certain place, no one wants to look back and really just say, hey, you know, that's some of the stuff that I've struggled with, because others could be struggling with the same thing right now, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, guys, I mean, I've had, you know, I've had $0 in the bank. I know what that feels like. The low credit score, the repossession of a car, you know, you know, just, you know, like, you know, picking up jobs here and there just to kind of like do your dream. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you really need to feel the rough patches going to your success. Like when you see a you know, a old building, and, you know, they go in, they do a demolition and the building come down, that whole foundation is now off. There was an old foundation that was there, and now it's off. So now they got to kind of take the old foundation out, you know, do a blueprint, you know, write out what this next step is going to be. But they gotta, when they come, they gotta pave, they gotta make the foundation very smooth. And when they build it, you have to make sure that everything that you need to kind of build your next is there. You got to make sure every item is there. And going through that process, guess what? Those contractors that are there, the plumbers that got to come in, everybody that got to come in, everything that's tied to your success of building that success building that you are, because you are a building. You're a building. And here's the deal. You either a building that's sturdy, or you're a building that's just unstable. So, you know, you just want to just make sure that everything that should be structured to you is tight. And there, you know, when God is working on you, or you are working on you, you just have to understand that it's just not going to be easy. There are going to be people who are going to be praying on you and praying for you. You know, everybody is just not going to be happy for you, and it's okay. You may be in the summertime where it's dead heat, 95 to 100 degrees outside, working on yourself, and you're sweating and you're dehydrated. Yep, this is what success looks like. Dehydration, stressed out, pissed, want to curse, want to throw in the towel, want to quit, you know, tired of looking at everybody, want to just get off social media, because honestly, everybody's imagery is not their reality, but we think so. So you become them. And so now it's like, yo, like, I'm frustrated with this whole thing. That's all a part of the plan of you getting to where you need to go, because honestly, you're going to find structure one which way or the other, through losses and through your wins. And even through your wins, even where your wins are, It was hard work getting there. That's why I never try to and I get it. I get it. The clothes look good. The vacations look good. They're jumping on planes and getting in first class, being diamond, all of that other stuff, driving a really good car, living nice. Guess what? It's a price. It's a price. And the biggest thing out of that too is do all of this without compromising. When you do all of this without compromising, it's even harder. Because when you ain't sitting around there having to sex somebody up just because you're trying to get to where you want to go, like, that's not the way to go. Because guess what? The same way you start is the same way you got to finish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you get into this, when you're going to do something successful for you, think about it. You're putting kids involved, you're putting your family involved, and all this other extra stuff. But what about if people really know how you got there? By compromising. In the word compromising, there is promise. Promise is connected to God. He already gave you a promise. So, and when you already been bought with a price, you ain't got to be sold again. You feel what I'm saying?
Come on.
You,
yeah.
come on. Like, you ain't got to do that. When you feel like, I'm going to be honest with you. There are a lot of people in the industry I just won't work with, and I'm okay to. And people are not going to work with you when they find out that you're not on the same page as them. And let them know, like, yo, like, this is not transactional relationship. I don't need it that bad for me to compromise my life. Like, I don't need it that bad. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the deal. All you had to do was be born in this world. When you was born in this world, you were touched at your mother's womb. So God he already anointed you. He already anointed you to know what you were getting ready to do on this earth. So nobody can take that away from you or derail your plan. You just have to believe in what you have. And when you believe in what you have, God will move all the negativity out of the way. You'll face them, and he'll then move them out of the way. He did it to Job. He's like, listen, I'm not going to have your life to be touched, but I'm going to let it be tested. And it's okay to be tested. And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Just living your purpose. Living your purpose and understand that everything that's happening has to happen in order for you to get to your best next. Because here's the deal. If you allow God's anointing to cover you through the process of your assignment, I promise you there will be a day that you will never, ever have to want for anything. And guess what? Even the people you bless, all you have to do is put your hands and your voice on them. You're so anointed that you'll bless them, because honestly, when people see through you, they need to see Jesus. When people hear you speak, they need to hear Jesus. And that's just what it is. And when that is happening, I promise you, you will be blessed and people's lives will be blessed. But if you contaminate your ministry, your assignment, and your character, you contaminate the people who need to be empowered by it.
Wow. You said a lot. You said a lot there, but one of the things you said towards the ending was it your best next? Is that what you said?
Your best next. Your best next.
I like that. Someone should type your best next. Type your best next in the chat. I'm gonna go ahead and pin that. Your best next. Yeah, Amari, you definitely you touched on that one. You made a statement about visionary as well. That was good as well. Let me see if I can find that. I made it past already. But yeah, your best next. I like that, because something else, you can have your worst next based on the choices that you make, but you want to have your best next. I see you. Your best next. Yes. So you definitely want to have your best next. I think that's solid right there. You said a lot there for sure, and definitely once we post this and it goes to YouTube, it goes to our podcast, it go everywhere. Definitely this is something that someone should go back to and listen to and rewatch, because you definitely poured out your heart, your best next. I see you guys. Yeah, so definitely you went ahead and you're being very transparent. And you mentioned just now too that hey Carlos, Urban Soul Cafe was good, my brother. You touched on a few things just now. You also mentioned fatherhood. So talk a little bit about fatherhood and how fatherhood is basically kind of even fortify your need for fulfilling purpose, because now you have others looking at you and your purpose is directly tied to their purpose. So touch a bit on that.
Oh yeah, fatherhood is amazing, man. Fatherhood has, and I'm still on a journey of learning more selflessness than selfishness. Fatherhood taught me a lot. Fatherhood taught me that you are in charge of lives who are looking up to you, and based upon your treatment, based upon your raising, based upon your instilling is who they will become. And what they see in front of them reflects them and you. So for me in fatherhood, man, I try to my best to represent my girls well, to not allow this whole ministry thing in business to get in front of them. I never want my girls to despise what I do because I take more time out with that than this. And so, so with my girls, we speak daily on, hey, you know, I do daddy check-ins. Hey, how's daddy doing? And I'll tell you that every conversation of how daddy is doing was not always okay. Daddy, you're going too much. Daddy, you too busy. Daddy, do you have to take a business call right now? Daddy, I need you. And every time I think about those words, because I could get to the greatest parts, because that's the easiest parts to talk about.
Of course.
And then I just kind of go back, like, how do we feel when we think God is not listening? How do we feel when we feel as though God is too busy, or he's not where we are, where we need him at the moment? You know, and so hearing those words, they resonate, man. And I had to learn how to tell my team, yo, call me at 6 because I'm with my girls from 1 to 5. You know, and yes, I do have to let them know that this is daddy's work and this is how daddy provides. But God has put me in charge for a reason. And that charge is to also have structure. We go back to that. And so fatherhood is teaching me a lot of structure, you know. And so with my girls, it's amazing. I'm their hero. I'm their king. So I have to make the right choices and decisions all the time, like all the time. And even when I want to make the right decisions all the time and I mess up, I'm not in position with my kids where I don't tell them that daddy messed up, you know. And as long as that they see me being a role model in their life, as long as that they see, oh my God, daddy put the phone down, he had a business call. And what I started to do also is to allow other business people to even see how I operate. So they know that no matter where I am, I don't care if I'm in a business meeting and we're talking $1 million. I've been in meetings where we've talked money. And I said, wait, hold up. My daughters are calling. Let me just hold up. And I've had people in those meetings say, yo, you know what? For you to stop a meeting and you know what this meeting is about for your daughters, you did something for me that I'm getting ready to take back home to my family. You don't know how you could be a difference just by being the different, you know what I'm saying? And so, and that has been amazing. I have 2 beautiful girls named Naylin and Harmony. And
how old?
The 8 and 9.
8 and 9, okay.
And they're gorgeous girls. They are fun. They are, I mean, everything that a daddy can have. But not only that they're amazing, their mothers are amazing. And I'm gonna be honest with you. For Natalie and Tamika, I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't be at my best if it wasn't for my daughter's mothers doing their doggone thing with those girls. Because I would be a lot of exposed if they did not make sure that they camouflaged certain things for me to do what I do, for my girls don't feel the weight of what I do. And my daughter's mothers they are amazing. If I had to do it all over again, I would, because they are amazing. Our co-parenting styles are really amazing. We all have relationships with one another. It's funny because when I do something wrong, Tamika talked to Natalie. When Natalie say I did something wrong, she went and talked to Tamika. So it's funny. And and then when I get upset, if I get upset with Natalie, I go talk to Tamika. Or if I get upset with Tamika, I go talk to Natalie. And it's funny because everybody just still hear that somebody had an issue, but it's cool because we keep it together. We keep it tight. It's not like we're perfect. Nah, like we get on each other's nerves, like for real. You know, I would never say it's easy, but when I want to develop a system that's not the typical, that takes a lot of time too, because you have 2 women who love a man that is like, I gotta like co-parent with this other chick. Like, okay. All right. And women have their own, you know, attitudes and ways of which that looks like. But at the same token, they do it well. Like they do it well. And I commend them. So Tamika and Natalie, like, you guys are the best mothers ever. And thank you for allowing me. And I'll be honest with you. And we as fathers who are co-parenting with mothers, we got to give it up to them, because realistically, how we get to do what we do is because of the sacrifice that they make for us to do what we do.
Yeah. No, I'm with you 100% on that, because I tell my wife that all the time, because I'm like, when I was, she, a stay-at-home mom, and she basically, she was with all 4 of our kids at home while I'm going to work, I'm going to school, I was going for a degree, I was doing all of that. Like, if I didn't have that coverage there at home, man, I wouldn't have been able to pursue half the things that I've done. So definitely that's key. That's key for sure right there. And you mentioned, girls, because I have 2 girls and 2 boys.
Wow.
And my 2 girls, 13 and 14, and I'm just like, man, stay young? It's like,
yeah, man.
But it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
It is.
Anissa said, this is extremely special of you to say that. Powerful. Celebrate co-parenting. Yes.
Oh yeah. I mean, I appreciate the co-parenting thing, because here's the deal. Like, instead of us fighting against one another, let's fight with one another. Let's fight for one another, not against one another. And so, I tell my daughter's mothers all the time, I'm not your opponent. Like, I'm not. I'm your partner. You know what I'm saying? And so, we fight against things that come against us. We don't fight each other, and that's just what it is, and it took time to kind of get there.
Of course.
It took time to get there. But I can't say nothing bad about them, but you bet not say nothing bad about them. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you, you get these hands, but at the same token, it's just, I protect them. And they have the right to be married to great men. They have the right to be successful. And I'll be at everything to support them because of what they do for my daughters. When I tell you, my daughters, guess what? We're not going to like everything the mother does. And guess what? The mother's not going to like everything we do as fathers. Yeah, so, guess what? It's just what it is, but we just have to work together, because at the end of the day, the child does not need a home of destruction. They don't.
Of course.
They don't. So, yeah.
Man, that's great, man. Listen, a lot of times I'm talking with, with individuals, and the level of transparency and the level of realness, like, I'll salute you. If I was wearing my hat, I would have definitely salute you. Like, this is real talk. I love this. And I want to make sure, before we even wrap, I got to talk about your singles. So I'm going to bring it a little bit. And I'll use this question that I pinned that someone just asked, and I'll use that to lead back into talking about a single. But someone mentioned here, Racing to the Sun, mentioned, where do you think gospel music is going in today's age?
In today's age, I believe that gospel music is basically, it's controlled by God and whatever he's doing. I mean, he gave man free will. So, I mean, however people are going out to engage people, that's to each his own assignment. I don't have the answer for that. I just feel as though that we can't say, what God has given somebody and what he didn't. We just have to just know what God has given us and do our part. And in this age, what I think that God is doing with music, what I think that where music is going, I really believe, music is trying to touch people from wherever they are. I believe that the real has now come out from where back in the day, a lot of stuff was so masked. And now people are like, yo, I'm open about a lot. My sexuality, where I want to be, where I want to go, who I am, all that other stuff. I think that, and music art is being written straight to the point. It was a point where, and you got to understand that, just like we have, we have been, dealing with the Bible, we had Aramaic, we had, Hebrew, you got this, that, and another. And then you start getting modern, all that other stuff. And you got King James Version, and you got CEV and, all those stuff, and new King James Version. So it's like, it's just a different way of language being expressed. That's how it's going to people, and people are becoming more, straight to the point, whereas you probably wrote a song in gospel that was like, oh, the blood of Jesus. And now you saying like, Jesus, I'm bleeding and I need you, Jesus. You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
it's just straight to the point. And I think that's where music is going. It's like it's piercing straight to the heart. Yeah.
I love that. And also too, even with gospel music as well too, right? It's not everything is gonna sound like it's gospel music to the next person, because a lot of times I see people, you know, I'm not gonna mention any names, but sometimes you're like, oh, this person's style of music, it's not gospel. They didn't say Jesus 5 times like this next person, or they didn't mention the word Holy Ghost. So there's different ways, but I think for us, it's just like we have to kind of step back, right? Like, is the music touching? Is it influencing? Is it steering people in the right direction? Like, all of that is the gospel, right? Because it's just discussions and conversations. And, you know, Jesus didn't just hang out with, you know, with just saved people all the time, right? So I feel like right on, like you said, is cutting to the point, and a lot of it may look slightly different, but it's still all under that same umbrella.
Yeah, and I love what you just said. Like Jesus was a true gangster. You know what I'm saying? He was the type of person that can be himself and still hang out with people who just wasn't like him. But he discovered himself so much. He knew who he was so much that it was like, and no matter what y'all do, you know what I'm saying? But he had influence being who he was, to the point where their lives got changed just by him being around. And so you just be you, you know that Jesus is attached to you, you know, and you can save that brother over there who's drinking, who's smoking, who's wrapped up. You can minister to them. And here's the deal. You're not here to change everybody. That's not your job. That's not your job. Your job is to put something out in the earth and allow it to, disperse, and allow to whomever want Jesus, they will catch on. Trust me. Stop trying to do Jesus' job and just do your job, and just plant and let it disperse. That's it.
Stop trying to do Jesus' job and just do your job, bro. You're just speaking right now. Just be you. Love it. Yes. Yeah. There are many manifestations of gospel music from God to reach people. Yes, that is so true, Therese Faulkner. That's true. That's so true right now. And then speaking about music, man, there's this single, bro. Like, yes, Ashley Renee, shout out to Ashley. That is a word. Yes, Ashley said that's a word. That definitely is a word. So let's talk about this single. Like, set it up for me, let me know the name of this single. Now I'm listening to this single and I'm getting like 90s vibe. I'm taking Jordan.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, let's go. Like, talk a little bit about this single.
Man, infinite love, man. When we talk about infinite, man, you're talking about eternity, man. You're talking about God is love, man. God is universe, man. He's all of that, man. When you start thinking about God loves us and he wants us to experience peace and eternal life, man. And so when I think about, like, when we talk about God's eternity, man, we're talking about something greater than duration. You feel what I'm saying? And so, man, when I wrote Infinite Love, I thought about God's purpose, peace in his life. And so he gave us that, and he wanted us to have that. And so when we think about that whole infinite love, man, we're talking about everlasting, man. We're talking about, why it makes the perfect gift for someone being special. It shows how much you value them, you care about them. It also shows your representation for them. And so when I think about infinite love, man, I think about endless, and therefore it is like endless to the point where it just can't be reached. It's unlimited. I said in the song, I was like, I love you so deep that the ocean would drown. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and that's just how I felt about it. So when I was creating Infinite Love, I was just thinking about love from a God, and also love in relationship, and how we take God's love and implement it in relationship, and implement it in friendship, and implement it in family. And let's have this immaculate love that just never dies. Love never dies. It always keep going. It manifests. It perseveres. And when I think about infinite love, man, I think about a material being capable of attracting iron and producing a magnetic field outside of itself. So when I think about that, I'm like, man, what is a magnet? Being connected to something. I think about reaction. I think about signal. I think about, energy. I think about the alignment. So Infinite Love had all of these ideas to me. Infinite Love was like the periodic tables, bro, just putting elements together that, that will have a positive chemical reaction, man. And so I wanted to pin that song, Giving Hope. When I tell you, when I pinned the song, people were like, oh my God, man, like, yo, man, my wife was going through it, and yo, like, we on a road trip, and like, you helped us, dude. Yo, man, you repaired my mom and my dad's relationship, or you repaired my siblings, like, and I'm like, whoa, like, that mean that my job was done, and I wanted to make sure that the project was complete. I really had some amazing singers on there. I actually did the record in Los Angeles, and so it was really amazing. I worked with some great people, and producing this record, from writing it to hearing the where I was hearing the BGVs, and when I was like putting this science together, the treatment together, everything had to have a purpose. Like, even as I was arranging the vocals, like, the vocals had to tell the story. It had to take you on a journey. I wanted the BGVs to make you feel like you were watching a movie from start to finish. And so, and the expressions, the sound, where the sound was panning, everything was purposeful about love. And I wanted to make sure that the BPM of the song was literally like, it wasn't an irregular heartbeat. It was a heartbeat that was just regular. That was just like, you know, LOVE, 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 like forever, forever, forever. And for people that's just like, yo, I'm about to quit my relationship. Now, I'm not saying be abused and be misused and, you know, all that other stuff, but I'm talking about when you want to give up, but your relationship really have the possibilities of making it great, like, stay in it, LOVE, LOVE. And so that was my thing about Infinite Love. And so I was like intentional about the singers I chose. I was intentional about the effects that I chose. I was intentional about producing it and what I wanted to hear. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I changed Infinite Love like 3 to 4 times.
Really?
Yeah, because it wasn't that I changed it because it was about me. I changed it because I wanted to make sure that the message made people's mind change when they're in a situation and they don't see change. So that was one of my goals, for people to be like, because sometimes you could hear a song but go right back to your original idea of, man, I'm not about to forgive them, man, I'm not about to love them, man, I'm about to give up on them. But I wanted this song to be like, yo, hope, faith, belief, trust, you got this, do it, like, come on. And I want to say the success from that was like seeing Music Soul Child, you know, endorse it, and you know, and other people who were just like, you know, Dave Hollister and many great others that were just like, yo, like, thank you for penning this song. And and I would just, you know, I'm blessed by it, but I'm mostly blessed by it because people are finding grace through the circumstance.
Someone said one of my favorite songs of many he wrote. Yes.
Thank you so much.
And I think that what you said, what you were going after, definitely you feel that in the song, right?
Yeah.
You feel that with every single part as it goes through. And when you mention, this is what you mean to me, I love you beyond infinity, and just different composition and different components of it. It was almost like if you were to chop up the song, you can probably get like at least 50 Hallmark cards out of that. It's like Valentine's Day cards. It's like someone thinking like, yo, what am I gonna say to my girlfriend? What am I gonna say to my wife? You know what? Yo, let me listen to this song. Let me just write a little note. Let me hand this note over. So the song is a dope song for sure. I'm gonna hold you. That's a dope
Thank
song.
You, bro. Thank
Definitely
you,
conveyed that, and it's one of those songs, like you said, if you're focusing, you're going through, you're trying to figure out what to do, what not to do, like, you definitely want to just sit, listen to this song, marinate, and just kind of go through it. And listen, man, you know, you got the words there. So someone want to express themselves, so they're not really sure how to express themselves. You know,
yeah. Listen, man, I'm like this, man. If you don't know how to express to your woman, man, just go to the song, copy and paste the lyrics, man, and be like, baby, this is for you. This is for you, baby. This is for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's how we gotta have fun with love, man. Like, that's just where it needs to be. You know, I don't care, man. You got off on the wrong foot. You better find one of them sentences, man, and you better apply it, boy. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man. So it's just like, you know, I'm telling you, you do that, man. Your girl, man, she'll bless you, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, that's just what it is, man. You come home happy, man. Broccoli will be on the stove. You know, she probably can't cook, but just, you know, warm up some frozen
Listen, man,
broccoli.
she
You know
warms
what I'm
that
saying?
broccoli to you,
Yeah,
bro.
you know what I
That
mean?
broccoli.
You know, broccoli with a little season on it. You know what I mean? You know,
Stop it.
your girl can't cook, but she, you know, she got a little, you know, little oodles and noodles with, you know, a little bow on it. You know what I mean? So
See,
it is what it
there
is,
you go.
man.
You got it. But not definitely a great song. Usually, whenever you see, you know, songs like that, I'm automatically thinking, you know, thanks. So what is this, you know, visual is gonna look like? So I'm gonna have to ask. I haven't seen anything online yet, but I'm gonna ask. Like, you got a little something you've been working on? Is there something that's coming? Is there like what's the thought process? Because for a song this good, I know you're gonna be wrapping it up in a really good visual. So what you
Oh
do with that?
yeah. So we just finished a really amazing official video for it.
Oh, really? Dope,
Yeah.
dope.
So we just finished that. My team and I, we came together and we cooked up something really special for you guys, and we can't wait for you guys to see it. And yeah. It was definitely intentional. Even doing that, you know, we wanted to speak to you again. You know, speak to your eyes, speak to your lips, speak to your ears, speak to your heart, man. You know, and so that was intentional too. So we definitely have some great visuals coming for you and for you to understand and keep infinite love right on your heart.
Well, definitely, man. Make sure, man. Y'all hear it here. I don't know if you heard it here first, but I'm gonna say it anyhow. You heard it here first. but nah, man. Listen, when you're dropping that, be sure to, you know, tag us, send it our way. You know, definitely let us know. We'll go ahead. We'll push it on our end because again, you know, your messaging, what you're doing, your purpose. We support what it is that's happening. We definitely, you know, love what you're doing. Love how you're owning it in your lane. Walking in what you're given to walk in. I definitely salute you for staying, you know, for staying true to that for sure. And
Thank you.
before we even wrap, because I know after about an hour, IT be looking to try to shut you down. But let the people know, like, you know, where can they follow you? You've definitely been a lot of places recently. You know, you've been, you know, ministering and doing a lot of different things. If someone wants to book you, whether it's for speaking, whether it's for motivation, whether it's for, you know, for anything that you're doing right now, like how can they get a hold of you, one, and then also like where can they follow you? Which social media platform are you more active on? Because, you know, some people are all about TikTok, some are all about the Twitter, the IG. Like there's way too much going on this fan base. You know, any fan base members out there, y'all follow me on fan base? Nah. But where can they follow you?
You can follow me to the supermarket. You can follow me to the gym. You can follow me to the store. You can you can follow me to the, you know, taking out the garbage. No, don't follow me there. You come by my house, you get something. No, you can definitely follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Facebook. Where else? You can follow me all over. I think that my team has set some great things up, so I think I'm all over. You just have to type it in. And that's it, man. Orlando Vick J. That's my Instagram, or Orlando Vick. And that's it. I'm gonna love on you. I'm gonna respond. And you know, if you have questions about family, you know, relationships, whatever, aside from music, you know what I'm saying, I'm literally a counselor. So, you know, we can do that too. You know, we can talk real life stuff. I'm a mentor. So that's what I do. I run a business, which is I'm the CEO of, called Wounds Healed Out Loud. And, you know, and I have mentees. I have people who just want to talk, you know. And so that's my life. And so if you need me, you're looking for the right track. If you have a project you want to work on and, you know, you like, yo, I want some dope BGVs. Let's do it. You want a dope production? Like you want that mix? Let's go. Let's do it. Whatever you
Yo, I
want to
hear
do.
it. You hear it. You hear it. Definitely hit him up. And I'll have you mention your IG one more time. But you mentioned Wounds Healed Out Loud. So how long have you been doing that? And like kind of like give us like a synopsis of, you know, what is Wounds Healed Out Loud?
Wounds Healed Out Loud is an organization that follows with all mental health dealings, right? I was in education, working for a district because I was the dean of discipline and curriculum instruction at one point, and I worked. I was in special needs. I worked with a lot of special needs, young men and kids. That's why I'm connected to St. Jude and other different entities. All right, you need some BGV? All right, got you, bro. So I left education. I resigned and started my own business, which was Wounds Healed Out Loud. And so we're here to motivate you. We're here to soothe you and infuse you. And that's what we are here to do. And so if you want to bring your family, I have licensed clinicians, LPCs, nurse practitioners who work alongside me, and we help you. Like, this is what I do. Like, I've been doing this since I was like 19. Like, my first job was like working with, adolescent males in residential treatment center and working for, Juvenile Justice Commission. So, you having a problem with your young men, let's talk about it. You having problems with your daughter, let's talk about it. You need help with parenting, whatever, like, let's talk about it. Like, let's deal with it. I have a whole system that's aligned to help you through whatever circumstances that you may be going through. Like, that's a whole nother side of me, but I still put it into my music. But it's still a whole nother side of me that if you need help on that side, I got you.
Definitely. We'll make sure we include all of that when we post this video. We'll have all the different, contacts and stuff like that to make sure if anyone needs assistance, especially now that, every one of us, I believe, need assistance in some way, shape, or form, just with incremental progress and becoming better people in general. So it's great to know that you're out there influencing and impacting. And again, that's also still the gospel, because you're helping to change and mold lives. So, definitely kudos to you and your team for what you guys are doing there. That's needed right now. And, lastly, just kind of give us your social one more time. This way, at least anyone that is fast forwarding and skipping in between, they're able to still get your contacts.
Oh, yeah. So Instagram is Orlando Vick J. And I believe on Facebook is Orlando Vick. And everywhere, Twitter, you can find me, all of that. You can find me, Orlando Vick. I seen my daughter's mother come up in here. Hey, Nat, what's up? I was just talking about you, all of that good stuff. You're a dope mom. Dope mom. But yeah.
Nice. Good stuff for sure. Natalie, you should definitely go back and check it out. He had nothing but good things to say. So definitely go back and check it out.
Yeah.
But no, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking time to just come on and just chat and, just be transparent first and foremost, because I believe just with your transparency alone, there's the music side, there's the counseling side, but, a lot of people are definitely responding to your transparency, and they're responding to the realness and responding to you sharing. There was a lot of comments saying, hey, this is confirmation. I definitely needed this and I needed to hear this. So, thank you again just for, fulfilling your purpose, even in an interview format as well, too. So definitely thank you for shifting and moving in that direction. And yeah, man, y'all check out Infinite Love, man. Brothers, if you're a little, a little slacking on the words and the lyrics, he got you. He got you covered. Listen to that joint, just copy and paste little pieces every day, and just just send her. This is for today. This is for tomorrow. Chop it up. That's content for like the whole 3 weeks, right there.
Hey, sure. But listen, now if she go and find a song and know that wasn't your word, just say, baby, just bear with me. I just wanted to make sure that you were just okay. Just bear with me.
Exactly.
Yeah, right?
Exactly. Don't, just tell our listeners it was all about love.
It was all about love, baby. It was all about love.
I ain't had the words, but Vic had it. Vic had it.
Right. And I want to thank you and Gospel Music Buzz, for your time and your platform, and thank you for all that you're doing inside of the industry, and you are impacting that large as well. I pray that God continuously to exceed beyond your limitations, and that God continuously to infuse you whatever your dream and whatever your prayer is, that your family will not need anything, because your platform will be so impactful that everything that the platform needs, it'll just be given. And that honestly, all your family and the people that you impact will look back and say thank you, but also thank God. And so at the end of the day, guess what? Gospel Music Buzz is going to a whole nother level, because all it has to do is evolve. Because at the end of the day, there's a buzz that is going on. and the buzz need to be heard all around the world. And that's what gospel music buzz is. It's impactful and it's global. And so I pray over it that it exceeds. In your precious name, amen.
Man, I received that, man. I received that, bro. Respect, man. Appreciate you, my brother, man.
You.
Yes, and thank you all for tuning in this evening. Orlando Vick, y'all check out his new single. Thanks again, brother.
Thank you, bro.
All right, later. And just like that, IG is telling me I have 21 seconds. Look at that. And with the prayer, this brother was able to rap. We're going to be closing in 10 seconds. Y'all, thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and post this. Y'all check it out. Have a great, and impactful weekend. Take it easy, y'all.